Hi there, Frank here from Remic, and it is time now to run a couple of back tests, which we do periodically, just to confirm that our methodology works and our confidence is as high as it should be when it comes to trading with this method. So here I am in NinjaTrader. I'll show you what we're going to do here today. We're going to jump on the strategy analyzer, and just in brackets, if you are new to this, we have a whole playlist on our YouTube channel running extensive tests like this, but that was about maybe a year ago. So now it's time to run one again, and I'll explain to you in detail what we're doing. It's quite simple, but crucially important. So in this case, we're going to run an optimization. And we want to know, optimization is always about asking a question or perhaps several questions. So what's the question that we're asking NinjaTrader today? What we're asking is this. First of all, let me switch this on here, optimize data series, and also aggregate it because we will want to be interested in a result which includes a basket of instruments. I will perhaps go into more detail later, but main thing, we are going to switch these two on, and I'm just going to be interested in the two best results. Okay, so the switching on this option here below was necessary because because our question to NinjaTrader will involve time frame optimization. So here's how it works. First of all, I'm going to specify what we're going to run the test on. And I'm just going to include the 4 indexes, as you can see. Okay, and then I'm going to specify the time frame, look back period, in other words. And I'm going to start 2020 January 1st to today. So that's 5 years, 4.5 years. Okay, hopefully we're going to get a lot of data. Now, the time frame question that I'm asking Ninja is this. What would be the best time frame to run our strategy on these instruments between 1 minute and 15 minutes in increments of 5? So basically 5, 10, 15, which is the best time frame? That's what we're asking. And if you want to go more granular, like more details, you can specify any value here if you want, but I'm just going to stick to 5 now. You can, of course, go into more detail, but I don't think it's really necessary. The answer that we're going to get from NinjaTrader will be reassuring. And then I'm going to expand this a little bit. There's one more question I'm asking. Remember, the more questions you ask Ninja, the slower the test will be because Ninja will evaluate all the possible options. And this can get exponential and can go into the tens of thousands of iterations. So I don't want to slow this down too much. But one question I do want to ask, and here's the thing, profit target. I'm just going to remember all the other tests we ran on a 3 ATR target and the 3 ATR stop. This time, I'm just going to do it on 2.5. So I'm going to tell Ninja to put the target 2.5 ATRs from the entry and the initial stop also 2.5 ATRs from our entry. Okay, now what is that going to mean? That means that I am running this test with the so-called 1R methodology, which means when the reward is the same distance from the entry as your risk. Reward and risk are equal. That's why it's called 1R. Now, if you just think about it for 1 second, you will realize, we all realize, that if you run it this way, then what will be crucial here is the percentage of winners compared to the losers. As soon as we have 51% or more than 50% winners, then the strategy will be minus commission and cost, of course. The strategy will be profitable simply by the fact that that means that the win-loss ratio is 1-to-1, risk-reward 1-to-1. So the percentage will decide if our strategy is a profitable or non-profitable, unprofitable strategy. If you like this type of content, I encourage you to check out our premium membership, especially the annual premium membership, which includes all our services as well as all our software. If you just want to purchase our software, you can do so in the shop as well. In either case, we hope to have you on board soon as we build our community of traders dedicated to trading excellence. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. All right, so again, just to sum it up, so I'm running a test with the BT strategy, an optimization test, and the question I'm asking NinjaTrader, what is the best time frame to run this test on, to run this strategy on these 4 instruments during these 5.5-year period? If I set my target 2.58 yards from the entry and my stop also 2.58 yards from the entry. And if you remember, we use a Keltner channel which is 5 ATRs wide, so the 2.5 ATR is kind of a bit significant for us because it's exactly halfway between the 2 edges of the Keltner channel. But whichever way you look at it, let's run the test and let's see what we find. And also, I'm not putting any restrictions, so this test will run 24/7, no special customization. It's just the default settings, the way we always think about deploying our methodology on the markets. All right, so let's run the test and we'll be back in a minute. In the meantime, let me say that since we're not optimizing for anything else, this is basically the worst case scenario. So if I get accuracy better than 50%, which means more than 50% of the trades will be winners, and therefore the strategy profitable, that's a very, very strong indication of the power of this strategy. And because I haven't done really any work yet, I could run trading stops with which I can substantially improve the results of the strategy. I can tighten stop. I can play around with a second contract. Powerful tools are at my disposal to improve further on the results. So this is just the basic worst case scenario, very important to remember. So I'm not expecting anything stellar. We're just expecting if everything works the way I think it will, then we will receive robustness, indication of utter robustness of the strategy. After that, once we have that, we can go into the details and we can customize the strategy in certain ways. Okay, so let's see. This might take a while, so we'll just hang in there and I'm going to show you the results in a minute. So it looks like there's a few minutes left, 2-3 minutes left. Let's see. You can also see that our strategy, the way we programmed it, is lightning fast, obviously. Running these scenarios, 16 scenarios, iterations altogether, takes time. Also thousands potentially of trades in the database over a more than 5-year period on 4 instruments, relatively small time frames, intraday time frames. So there's a lot of data crunching here as we speak, but we should be done in a minute or 2, and then we'll look at the results as well. All right, so we have the results, and check this out. So first of all, I'm going to look at the percent profitable, and as you can see, jumps off the page that all of them are above 50%. Now, this is tremendously significant, and I hope you see this. So even the most basic scenario, just a 1-hour trade over 12,000 trades over a more than 5-year period on 4 instruments, brings a accuracy of more than 50%. So which means even the worst case scenario is profitable. So what if we customize it a little bit? Okay, now we're not going to do the customization in this video. We're going to spend a little time on that next time. And also there's playlists already about that. Just, I wanted to show this to you. Even the roughest way to do this is already profitable. That's very, very promising. You can also look at the performance, which should be for winning systems over 1.0. Okay. Now also let's look at, because I'm curious, let's look at what time frame between 1 and 50 minutes would be best. And it says 11 minutes is best. That's probably a 10-minute time frame or so, because the increments of 5, the way Ninja thought I was asking the question, it regards 11 as increments of 5, starting with 1. Whichever way we look at it, around 10 minutes between the 5, 10, and 11 proves to be the best. But I would say probably we could run this on either of these 3 time frames and the results would be good. Hi, also, if you like this content, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. And if you know someone who might benefit from this information, then please share this video. This is how you can help us to bring this content to as many traders as possible. Thank you for your help. We'll see you soon. And until then, mindful trading. Okay, so this is, again, just to sum it up, a test on 4 instruments, 4 indexes, futures, equity indexes, running our BT default settings, 5.5-year period. And the only thing we asked Ninja is what the accuracy would be. How many % of the trades would be profitable if we just set the target to 2.5 target and 2.5 stop? So if you ask the question this way, then what you're basically asking is that every time you put on a trade, and we put on a trade 12,867 times over 5.5 years, how many times, all in all, would the target get hit first, as opposed to the stop being hit first? 51.22% all in all is the accuracy. So let me just run another very basic experiment. Same thing again, except that this time I'm going to